The 214 Gaming Podcast is for mature audiences only. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any Department of Defense or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Dude, I am fucking great. How are you?
Well, I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in a kind of in a festive mood. You know, it's the first episode of December. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
kind of, kind of in a festive mood, I guess. So we'll run with that, I guess. Yeah.
You got like a Breakfast Club Christmas thing going on here, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you got to read this shit. Look at it. Look at it. Look at how fucking trash, dude. Look at how fucking trashy I am. Look at how it's just unnatural how trashy I am.
Are you drinking eggnog over there, man?
Oh no. We got this morning's beverage is going to be my typical beverage of champions. So I was watching Yellowstone with Nikki. We kind of got into that, and excuse me, there was an episode where they go up to a bar and they're like, "Get us a couple of yellow jackets," and I was like, "What the fuck the fuck are yellow jackets?" And then they fucking hand them fucking Coors Original, basically. I guess that's like in that show, that's what they call Coors Original, I guess. But yeah, I got a tall can here, and it is Sunday, so kind of like Johnny Cash says, you know, if the first half isn't too bad, I might have the second half for dessert. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. A little bit of Christmas cheer, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. You can't go wrong with Christmas cheer in an aluminum can, you know.
Yeah.
Pop tops, man. I just got my good old fashioned poop mug with my coffee in it because just
that is also delightfully tacky. Like, I love it, dude. That is like delightfully tacky. I fucking love that. You're literally drinking out of a cup of shit.
Yeah, it's my shit cup. This is it helps me poop in the morning anyway. You know, this is like whole mental capacity and everything. You just get in the right mindset of everything. And it's like
coffee will keep you regular. Coffee will absolutely keep you regular. That is for sure. That is for fucking sure. Hell yeah, dude.
What's been good this week?
Man, like doing a freaking burn with a freaking blowtorch basically on my entire household, dude. Like everything that's left. Like, so the army has already come and received the products from my household here and already delivered them to Missouri, where I will be living. Okay, in just a couple, less than 2 weeks now, but a couple short weeks, we're going to be there. The household goods that I had the army take, basically, they're already there. So the only thing left in my house right now is me, my children, and the stuff we need for the next 2 weeks, and a couple of like very small piecemeal items that can basically fit in my car. And for anybody getting any ideas about, you know, trying to run up in my house, dude, like, I assure you, your life is totally not worth what we have in this house right now. So there's nothing left in here. There's nothing left in here. And really just going through the garage and just throwing shit away. That's really been my week. It's nothing exciting or overall like holy crap, but
right.
I've been making a steady amount of forward progress, and I've been very, very pleased with the progress made, but not only by myself, dude. Okay, real talk. Like, we drove back from Kansas City last Sunday, 1 week ago, and I shit you not, I gotta freaking plug this because my kids have been unnaturally immaculate this entire week. They were fucking amazing on a 9-hour car ride back here last Sunday going into Sunday evening.
Yeah.
They've gotten up every day with not very much complaint at all. You know, done their stuff. I give them chores, you know, when they get home from school after their homework's done, they have chores. Sure. They got everything done on fucking time. You know, like I was like kind of like, you know, Sergeant Dad Campbell this week a little bit because we had a couple of timelines to hit. My landlord wants to show the house here pretty soon and stuff like that, which I need to let him do that. You know what I mean? That's kind of a fair play, you know, being that we're going to be out of here in a couple of weeks. So, but my girls have been so good this week, and I'm like happy to publicly announce that. Like, it's been amazing, fucking amazing. Like, so yeah, that was my week. How was your week?
My week's been grand. I travel around Pennsylvania a lot for work, so it's mostly just driving around and doing stuff around people's houses or some businesses for a gas company, and really I get like the best view of every bit of our state here, just because I get to take all these back roads. I get to see all this cool stuff. And like the best part of my days, truly like the end of it, when the sun's going down and I'm still out on the road and I can see all these really amazing sunsets. So I tend to snap pictures of that, and then like just some random shit I've seen around the area, like a payphone that's still in a booth at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like damn thing still looks like it worked too, and I was like, oh wow. It's got a couple pictures of that. Have some videos of some pretty crazy sheep that I saw at a farm. You know, like nothing, just stupid shit.
Was Black Phillip in there? Have you ever seen The Witch? Have you ever seen The Witch?
I don't think I have.
Oh my God, you need to see The Witch. That is like one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and it's like fairly, yeah, but it's fairly recent. This is not your typical. This is not a Friday the 13th slasher horror movie. This is like an extremely slow burn. Like a lot of people find it boring, but man, if you get to the end, it's one of those like movies that moves kind of in a crescendo, and as soon as it hits the apex, as soon as it hits the peak, the movie's over. And it's fucking perfect, dude. Like the movie's been out for a while. That's a long sound clip.
That's not what I thought it was. I thought I had a shorter one on here.
No. The movie is perfect. Like it's one of those movies that just ends perfectly.
Right.
My favorite movie of all time, Unforgiven, the Clint Eastwood Western. Same exact type of movie. It's an extremely slow burn. And as soon as you get to the apex, as soon as you get to like, you know, that moment in the movie where everything explodes, it's over. And it's just like, boom, boom. Like, so yeah, but like, and you know, and when you were talking about the sunsets and watching sunsets and sunrises, man, you like gave me a flashback to like some of my best memories in the Army have been watching the sunrise, the sunset. A lot of times you get to see the sunrise when you're out running or ruck marching. You know what I mean? And you kind of take in like that odd beauty, like you in the middle of the suck, you're taking in like the odd beauty. Or you wake up when you wake up in the field and you watch the sunrise. Sometimes it's just perfectly fucking gorgeous. You know, or
that is the exact thing where I sat there, and that's what I thought embracing the suck truly meant, when it's like you were in the shittiest situation right now. You were in the middle of nowhere. You don't even have a fucking portage on you can go shit in. You have to go dig a hole and use a bag or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just that bad. And you ain't showered for a week, but man, you wake up one morning and the clouds are just right. The sun's just peeking over like a ridge, and you're just like, wow. This is what I'm doing. This is a lot of times.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. A lot of times the infantry, you know, because after dark, you know, it's, you know, noise and light discipline. So, you know, we'd smoke our last cigarette of the day, as the sun was going down, basically. So a lot of times we'd be up kind of on the crest of a hill, and exactly like you described, and especially out here in Colorado. If you can imagine, you got mountains. There's mountains and like sweeping vistas and overlooking valleys, and you're just sitting there like smoking like the day's last cigarette before we have to go into noise and light discipline, watching the sun go down. You know what I mean? And it is oddly and spectacularly beautiful. You know what I mean? It's really quite amazing sometimes, like when you get to appreciate that. So yeah,
it is.
So tell me more. What else? Anything else this week? Like, did you go anywhere, do anything? Did you watch any movies? Did you watch any movies?
Nothing great in the movie front. I saw a new show. I don't know if it's a new show. It's on Hulu. It's called Enlisted. And I haven't. Okay. I should pull it up actually. Let me pull it up for you real quick, because it's
okay. What's I'm assuming by the name it's about the military. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's about these three brothers that are in the Army, and it's got Chris Lowell, Parker Young, Keith David plays a sergeant major. Let me get this up here. Hang on. This is
No,
I'll just show you the cast. Bear with me, folks, because I've been I'm doing double duty today. I'm playing producer.
No, you're fine, John. Or you're fine, Joe. You're fine.
Call me John. This is.
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry about that. Like, by the way, John, we fucking miss you, brother, and we wish you all the fucking best right now. We wish you all the fucking best right now. We love you, brother. We love you very, very much. You are greatly missed today, my man. You are greatly missed. Oh yes, I remember this. What wasn't that like a Fox TV show?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what? I guess it got like really poorly reviewed, or you know, like what? But what was your take on it? What was your take on it?
So being a veteran, the first thing I'm gonna do is pick it apart.
Right.
I'm gonna pick it apart really bad. Like, why is that guy fat? Why is that guy got a beard? Why is that guy's hair not cut? Why is this out of where's their headgear? They're outside. You know, like I'm losing my shit as I'm watching this, but the jokes are purely like
Do they
this
hit?
show should get picked up. They hit pretty damn good. I
Have you ever-
I laughed out loud quite a few times on just the pilot alone, and I'm like, this. I got to watch more of this.
That reminds me of Vet TV. Have you ever seen Vet TV? Like, it kind of reminds me, like, it sounds a little bit like Vet TV almost, you know, where it's very tongue in cheek, kind of like extremely tongue in cheek, you know, like military related, basically.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
Yeah. Stuff that we're used to, probably a bunch of gay jokes and whatnot. And
yeah. Oh yeah,
that
everything,
dude,
everything.
dark humor.
Dude, like everything in the Army turns into gay, either gay humor, gallows humor. You know what I mean? The darkest of the dark humor you can ever imagine. Like, I mean, I'm not going to hell for anything I've ever done in my life, other than like specific jokes I've made in the midst of like cracking up with the guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to hell for those jokes solely and specifically. Because, you know what I mean? Because like you know, the field humor, you know, the shop talk, basically, it gets so out of control.
Right.
You know, and it doesn't matter what your branch is, what MOS. Some MOSs you have to be a little more careful than others. But good God, dude, like the gallows humor that occurs out there is just like there's jokes I would never ever publicly state. You know what I mean? Like even if I was a stand-up comedian, because it was like because you'd instantly like the world would hate your guts. You know what I mean? Like, and we're sitting out there laughing about it in the field. You know what I mean? Just laughing about it in the field.
Dude. Oh, what happened here? We didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'll say it right now. The Army is literally 90% gay jokes. The entire time I was in, it was nothing but. And I really couldn't understand what was going on with that. You know, like most people
you just roll with it. It's
you know,
it's
like
primarily testosterone infused environment. You know what I mean? To such an extent that some of the chicks are more badass than the dudes. You know what I mean? I mean, like I'm talking about. I've seen some badass lady soldiers, dude, just like tear through like their time in service like a chainsaw, dude. You know what I mean? Like they are like seriously badass broads, dude. If you pardon the expression, you know what I mean? And they kick some fucking ass just as much as fucking the dudes do. And a lot of it's a product of you become a product of the environment basically that you're in, and that's really what it comes down to. And that's why I think a lot of people have hard times PCSing from duty station to duty station, because the culture and the environment can be vastly different unit to unit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
I interrupted you. You were literally in the middle of the thought, and I just ranted. So I apologize.
Okay,
go ahead.
It's okay. This is just a great experience to be on, on camera again. And after we did our After Dark episode with it, if you guys didn't check it out, go on YouTube, check out our After Dark special we had earlier this week. It was a blast doing that with our hosts Jay and John here. I got to be a part of that, and I feel like that's something we can do more of for sure.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I really want to get into this other thing, man. We've got the Air Force letting their soldiers put their hands in their pockets.
Yes, and I have one word for that. Fucking good.
It's good. Official, bro. Official.
Like that is the most common sense regulation that has probably come out in like at least a fucking decade. Man, like you could. Thank you.
It just doesn't stop. How is it the longest thing in the world? I gotta pick better ones. I need to screen these better.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Don't bother me, dude. Don't bother me. But no, that is probably the most common sense regulation that's come through in minimum a decade. Like probably since before I joined. And I joined in early 2010. You know what I mean? So like, holy shit! Thank God somebody like common sense is actually occurring. In the ranks, in at least one fucking branch, where you can put your goddamn hands in your fucking pockets. It doesn't look unprofessional to have your hands in your pockets. It's all in how you carry yourself. It's exactly how you fucking carry yourself. You can have hands in the pockets and keep your goddamn shoulders squared away. That's not a hard fucking thing to do. You can still maintain military posture with hands in the pockets. Keep your fucking hands warm, man. It's cold in the winter, man. It's cold in the winter.
Those
Like,
damn leather gloves they would issue with the wool liners inside. Oh my God, come on.
I'll give you a very not so secret about the infantry, dude. Like when we go to the field, everybody puts their fucking hands in their pockets. I'm talking like all the way up and down the ranks. Okay, like when you're in the field in the infantry, it's an unspoken rule. You can put your hands in your fucking pockets. It gets
You are fake news.
fucking balls fucking cold, dude. Some
That's
guys
damn
like
right.
we've had like polar vortexes fucking hit us in the middle, like when we were in the field, and it was just like there's no way around that shit when it gets like that. There is no way around it. And you still have to train. You still have to fucking be able to fight. You still have to maintain your fucking bearing. You know, all that shit comes into play, you know, situational awareness. And it's like the last thing you need to be worried about is whether or not you're allowed to put these down here and just fucking keep them warm if you're not otherwise occupied. You know what I mean? Like, what's the big fucking deal?
All you got to do. I mean, I want to know why they thought it was bad to begin with. Like, what was so bad about putting your hands? Is it because like you could trip and fall and like not?
I think it's that like 50s, 60s, and 70s like work mentality of like, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. You know, or like the fucking you know, if you've got your hands in your pockets, that means your hands aren't busy doing something else that they otherwise should be doing. It is fucking stupid. It's completely fucking stupid. Like that's an old school work ethic mentality that I'm not denying the work ethic behind that mentality, but that's an old school mentality where just because I have my hands in my pockets doesn't mean I'm not engaged in doing something necessarily.
Right.
Okay. So that's the difference. So I don't know. That's fucking about time. That's all I can say is about fucking time.
It
like,
is
good for the Air Force. And I hope all the other branches fucking soon follow. That's a
That's right. It's I remember he bitching about it every day. Why can't I put my damn hands in my pockets? Why do they got to bitch about it? And you know what would piss me off is you'd see so many officers with their damn hands in their pockets, and it was like, bruh.
Rules for thee, not for me, bruh. Fuck you, bro.
Funny story. We were in Camp Buring, and I was walking with my platoon leader, Lieutenant Crisp at the time. Coolest dude ever. Guy looked just like Ron Howard. I swear to God. A young Ron Howard. Yeah, it's funny. And he was a beast too, man. Like he would lift like crazy amounts of weights all the time. It's just like, what the fuck? But we were walking out after PT, and I mean, I'm just in my PT uniform, nothing special. And he's got his blue vest on, showing that he's a LT, right? These couple enlisted guys come walking over, and I mean, I'm on his left side, as you know, the lower enlisted should be, and he's
junior enlisted. Excuse me,
junior enlisted. He salutes. They salute. I salute. Everybody salutes, and he looks at me. He goes, "Why'd you salute?" And I was like, "I just wanted to see what it felt like, man." To be on the other side of it. And he started cracking up. He said, "You can't do that."
That is funny. That's funny. That's good shit though. And that I think going back to the TV show you're talking about, Enlisted, like that. I'm assuming that's the kind of humor that show contains, right? Like those kind of like it's the military. A lot of times the military is so hilarious because it's a lot of the smaller moments. It's not a lot of the big shit all the time. It's the day to day kind of like small shit that makes everything so fucking hilarious sometimes. You know, and if you've never been part of that environment, obviously it's hard to kind of pick up on some of that subtle humor. You know what I mean? That makes it so funny. You know what I mean?
So the story of it, like in the pilot, I'll let the plot of the pilot go because really that's all I've seen so far. But it's got everything. It's got a badass soldier, a guy who's not afraid to die. It's got his brothers, so you got like a Saving Private Ryan kind of feel to it. He's out doing his war shit, and then he gets pissed off because the Fullbird colonel didn't send reinforcements, so he knocked him out and got demoted.
Fuck yeah.
He lost his rocker, so
I'm digging the pilot already.
Yeah, dude. So like, and he'd be like the alpha male, and then he's got these two younger brothers. The one's kind of a dipshit, and he's just like a little flamboyant, and the other guy's just like, I don't give a shit at all about anything at all, period, at all. And it's just like, damn, dude. Like he comes in, his ACU top is like half unzipped, and he's just like, whatever, no hair's all out of rag and shit. So I'm just like, oh.
All I'm hearing is that's kind of like just like the triad of my personality right there.
Dude,
that's like my personality in three different people right there.
You know what I mean? Like, love this show, and I wish I didn't know if it was. I should check to see if it's canceled. I don't know.
You said it's on Hulu. No, I think it is canceled. I'm pretty sure, but you said it's on Hulu.
Yes.
I need to. I will hop on that. I will hop on that. I mean, shit. Like me and Nikki are down to 1 episode a week for Yellowstone because we're all caught up. So, we might have a couple. We might have a couple of episodes worth of time here
I think it's only one season, to be honest with you.
Say again.
It's only one season, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I remember it. I remember when it came out, and I remember that it kind of went away like super quick too, and then that was it. Like, but I remember what There's I'll tell you what this reminds me of. There's a Canadian TV show called Todd and the Book of Pure Evil, and it was kind of like a horror comedy set in high school around this group of friends, and it only lasted 2 seasons, but oh my fucking god, was that. Like I watched it in Afghanistan with a buddy of mine on my first deployment, and that show is fucking hilarious. Like if you're into like horror comedy, it's like it's all centered around this whatever. But it's same shit. It was like it made it 2 seasons. It got canceled, and that's all we got. That's all we got with it, basically. You know what I mean?
The question I have is when you find a show that you really enjoy, and then you find out it's been canceled after like 2, maybe even 3 seasons, and there's questions that are unanswered. Like, don't you ever get to the point where it's like, I wish they would have at least finished it out or like done something as a big finale, like a 1-hour finale, just to tie up all the loose ends and shit.
That is exactly why I recommended the TV series Dark, which is on Netflix, to John, and I highly recommend it to you. I recommend you watch it in the original German language with subtitles.
Oh man.
And because that's how it was recommended to me. It is 3 seasons long. It has a definitive ending. Nine. And I don't want to ruin anything. So that's all I can say is it's the single greatest TV series I've ever seen in my life. Because of that, because I've come to expect shows to only have 2 seasons or 1 season, or I get into a new show and it gets canceled. It's like, I ain't fucking with all that anymore. Like it's 2021, homie. Like Dark, you really, really need to see Dark. It's fucking amazing, dude. Like, holy shit.
That is something I will look into. I'm not a big horror dude. I've never been into the whole genre of it. There's a few shows I got into, which I mean, most of America did it. I know of one of them being American Horror Story. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen. I
think I've seen 1 or 2 of the seasons. I got a little into it. I remember, and it was probably on one of my deployments because I usually any TV or movies I've seen in the last 12 years has mostly been on deployments because I typically don't.
Oh yeah.
I typically don't watch a lot of TV and movies, but I have been watching more lately. But I think it's because I've had a little bit more downtime, obviously, because of getting out of the Army. And I remember watching the American Horror Story a season or 2, but I never really got hooked on it enough to just keep going. So I just kind of said fuck it after a while and stopped watching it. And there's the first season. Nikki was saying she hated American Horror Story, but House on Haunted Hill is badass. And my lovely girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend will attest that I'm extremely picky sometimes with what I like and don't like. But Nikki has a 98% rating with me right now. Almost everything she recommends, I do enjoy. Almost everything she recommends, I do enjoy. But then there's a couple things here and there that she'll turn it on, and I'm just like, yeah. And there's nothing I can do, and I feel bad because she likes it, and it's like, but it's like it just
everybody's got their own tastes, man. When it comes to
truth, yes,
true. I'm the same way with Alex. He definitely is the same way when it comes to that. I can watch Brothers and Sisters, but I can't watch it 4 or 5 episodes in a row. He can sit and binge watch stuff like that, and I'm just like, man, no. But I could sit and binge watch YouTube videos of NASCAR 2000, Thunder 2004 gameplay and shit like that, and just be perfectly content watching people play games. Right. I don't know. Oh, she says it's Haunting of Hill House.
Oh yeah.
Was a good show. I swear I caught some of that, and I thought that was
we haven't gotten through it. We watched I know she showed me that particular series, and it was one of those things. I think we just didn't finish watching it yet. We have 3 or 4 shows that we're halfway through a season or something, and we just haven't picked back up where we left off, The Witcher, because I'd never seen The Witcher. She wanted to show me that, which, by the way, so far everything I've seen is really cool. So I have nothing bad to say about The Witcher. I've never watched Game of Thrones all the way through, but excuse me, I've never watched Game of Thrones all the way through. So we were doing that, but yeah, it's a slow, creepy burn, and Jay has no attention span. So I'm also not necessarily going to deny that. I mean,
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Jay has absolutely no attention span, like a goldfish. He has a second and a half, and that's it. Poof, gone.
Go ahead, baby. Yeah, those are yours. Yes, those are yours. Get your breakfast, baby. Pour yourself some milk.
By the way, she says he means more than 4 episodes of Game of Thrones. Well, I'm sure you've seen a few more than 4. The way you talk about it, you have some knowledge.
No. I read the books. I read the books on my deployment, and then what I did over the years is I never really watched the show. What I did was I would watch particular scenes because I wanted to see how the scenes looked as they filmed them. So like the Red Wedding, I watched the Red Wedding because I remember reading about that. And then when the Viper fights the Mountain, I watched that because I remember reading in the, because those are attached to the story in the books, like they're exactly how they happen in the books. And
right.
So I read all 5 books that were out on my first deployment. Word. So but I was getting really bored by like book 4 and book 5 anyways. So like I wasn't really, that's why I never really watched the show, because like I was already kind of losing interest by like the 4th and 5th book. So, but that was just me though. I totally get why it was a big thing and why it became a phenomenon. And I also totally get like why people really freaked the fuck out and why it crashed so bad in that last season.
We got from John saying that he's watched our actual host, John, who's on sabbatical today, said he's never watched Game of Thrones past episode 4, but he watched it to he watched the Red Wedding because he was curious about it. And that's fair. I too was curious of the Red Wedding. I heard Joe Rogan talking about it on his podcast.
Do you know what it's based on?
It's based on something real. It was based on
Clan Campbell and Clan McDonald, as in Clan Campbell. And Clan Campbell basically pulled a fucking jack move on Clan McDonald back in Scotland. And that was some real shit that happened. And to this day, there is a pub in Scotland, and it's more of a joke. It's more of a touristy joke nowadays. But it's outside the pub. There's a sign or a placard on the wall. And it says "No Campbells or Hawkers."
Oh shit!
And it's because of that incident where the Campbells basically invited this other family and group of people into their homestead and then fucking massacred them in the fucking dead of winter.
I'm gonna look it up.
So yeah, that's some real shit, and that's what George R.R. Martin based the Red Wedding incident in the Game of Thrones series on. That's what he based it on. So, and this is a real motherfucking thing. Like that'd be the ancestral lineage of my family namesake, basically the Campbell family.
Oh, I think they have something you can actually go to a Red Wedding.
And the Campbells and remember the Campbells were the bad guys in this one. So like the Campbells kind of acted like some sons of bitches, but in the olden days of Scotland, right? So
that's brutal, bro.
It's completely fucking brutal. It's completely fucking brutal, and it completely fucking happened. That's some real life shit. That's some real life shit that actually happened, bro.
There's a lot of shit that's been going on lately. There's a lot of shit that we haven't been hearing about here in America so much that, if you're not paying attention to independent journalism, you're not really going to catch on to what's happening in the rest of the world.
If you keep up on the news, I just want to encourage anybody, read not just news in your local area or for the United States, like read around the world. Look at what the world is doing always. And as always, check your sources and try to find reputable journalism to follow and read. So
I think Nikki's
oh, dude. There you go, Nikki. A red wedding, like where the color is red, and that would be. I ain't gonna lie, dude. If and when that day comes, dude, that would actually be a tits fucking perfect color for color theme for a wedding. If me and Nikki got married, that is not fucking wrong at all. Red would be the perfect color for that fucking wedding. Like,
oh yeah, there's a whole story here on the Red Wedding. It's crazy.
Yeah. So,
but speaking of some craziness, man, have you seen get back into gaming a little bit here. Have you seen
go ahead.
This
What?
dude that he was on Battlefield 2042 and
Okay.
he tried to get a refund for his game. He didn't like it or something. He tried
Oh
to get
no! Yes, I did see it. It wasn't. He didn't get. It wasn't. He didn't ask for a refund. He did a fucking chargeback.
Oh,
He did a
no
chargeback.
way.
He did a chargeback. That was the linchpin in why it blew the fuck up.
Look
Okay,
at this.
so
Within 14 days of purchase, they refused to refund me for Battlefield 2042 within 14 days of purchase. I made a chargeback dispute through my credit card. Well, that's where you messed up, man. Like, you can't do that.
So basically, like okay. I can understand being pissed off after 14 days and not getting a refund. Okay, I'm not going to say this gamer was wrong at all, because you're not going to hear me fucking back up EA as a company for probably fucking anything ever anyways. So so he got pissed off. He didn't get his refund in the time allotted, and the company was basically dragging its heels. So he did what's called a chargeback. And I am not extremely familiar with credit card law and stuff like that, but I know a couple of very small tidbits of information. And here's what I know about what happens when you do a chargeback. A chargeback is like it's almost like an automatic red flag for the credit company against the company. Okay, against the company. So for a company like EA, massive multinational corporate conglomerate, that's a fucking drop in the bucket. It's not a big deal, okay? Because worldwide they deal with this shit all the time. For like a mom and pop shop, like Joe Pa's fucking tool store, if a customer did a chargeback, that could like fucking ruin that tool store's credit, basically, in essence, for potentially like a long time to come. Because of a chargeback. A chargeback is basically an accusation of fraud.
It's almost like using a social credit system.
It kind of, with the credit card company, it is. That's exactly what it is. A chargeback is basically an accusation of fraud. Okay, in very loose and layman's terms, it is an accusation of fraud.
No!
So this kid fucking did a chargeback against EA, and then Joe, do you want to take what EA's response was? Before I rant on that shit.
We have received notification from your bank or payment provider regarding a chargeback or reversal on a payment made on your EA account. As a result, we have canceled any subscriptions that are active, removed any entitlements or games associated with the payments, and closed your account with immediate effect. Immediately. Fucked your
whole not just Battlefield 2042. No. Any fucking EA game this kid had on his system has ever played or used under that specific account is now wiped. It's gone. All those games are gone. And me and John have gone into depth. Me and John have gone into depth on this podcast before over the dangers of not having a physical disc copy of a game. You know what I mean? Like this is where we run into problems. It's 2021. It's the future, kids. You piss off the gaming company, you just lost your ability to fucking game.
They have the right to review service just as much as anybody else.
This is some fucking dystopian shit, bro.
Yeah.
EA
don't give you your money back. That's pretty.
They didn't give him his money back. So he fucking did a chargeback, which admittedly can be considered a really hardcore dick move. But then they just fucking wiped all of his accounts. He's fucking done. That dude is fucking done. Like,
he shouldn't have gone about it the way he did. Depending on how you buy games through whatever platform, whether you're using EA's platform, you're going through Steam, you're going through Xbox, the Microsoft app. However you do it, or if you go to GameStop itself, there's always a way to get a refund. There should be a way to get a refund or cancel.
Right. There always should.
Steam makes it so easy, dude. You can play
EA is completely in the wrong for this. Okay, whether or not him doing a chargeback was a complete dick move or not is entirely irrelevant. EA has shown time and time again that they are not for the consumer. They are not for the gamer. They don't give a fuck. Like they have EA has the most downvoted comment in history on Reddit. Look, while I'm ranting, look up most downvoted comment in history on Reddit. Okay. EA has shown time and time again that they are not for the consumer. They are not for the gamer. They don't give a fuck about anything except money. Okay. And now they're just proving it yet again. So regardless of the fact that the kid kind of pulled a dick move on EA by fucking doing a chargeback, it is so fucking irrelevant. Fucking irrelevant.
The intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for costs, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to the milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community have set forth around the current topics here on Reddit, our forums, and across numerous outlets.
You're good. Like that's like it was EA Games
667,000 points.
Yeah, I was one of the downvotes on that too. Like, dude, fuck EA Games, dude. Like, fuck EA Games, dude. Like, fuck these cocksuckers. Fuck these corporate suckers of Satan's cock, dude. Okay.
What was this even about? Was this about Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Yeah, it was about Star Wars, and that was the whole fucking like, yeah. Do you remember when that was like a big fucking a big conflagration, in the gaming community? Like, that's where that started. It started with that Reddit comment. And like basically, it's all about it was all about the pay to play, pay to fucking win, systems of games nowadays where you have to fucking, like we talked last week about, all the skins, getting all the skins for like these games could cost upwards of fucking over $1,000. No fucking video game is worth that. Like it should already come with that, or it should just be updated. Like you already paid your $60. I will give you another 20, maybe 40. Let's round it out to an even 100. And I might do that later on. But there is nothing in a fucking video game worth a fucking goddamn like used car. Okay? No.
Really?
Absolutely no. The microtransactions in gaming today has got to fucking stop. Like it is ruining gaming.
Have you heard of these kids that are maxing out their parents' credit cards because
that was happening years? That was happening years ago. That's been happening
from Fortnite and everything, man. Like I hear every now and then from my friends and their kids. It's like, well, shit. Why are you letting them have access? Why is your card info there?
I shit you not, man. Like I've never once put any of my credit or debit card information into any of my gaming consoles.
Oh,
like.
Wow.
The fact that I've done it on my laptop is fucking like hard enough for me to do in the first place. So like I don't put any of my fucking I don't put any of that shit into my fucking gaming consoles, dude, because I don't trust these companies. They're basically saying our content is our content, right? Like that's what EA is basically telling this kid. Our content is our content. You just lost all of your EA gaming access, right? Why would Sony not say that after I put my card number into my PlayStation? Or why would Microsoft not say that when I put my fucking card information into my fucking Xbox? That's why I don't do it. No.
The biggest lie we tell ourselves, Jay, is that we agreed to the terms and conditions, that we have read the terms and conditions. Nobody reads that shit. There's a guy.
That's my whole point.
Reads all that shit.
That's my whole point, and that's exactly why EA is gonna win this fight against this kid. Yep. Because somewhere in those terms and conditions contains some fucking legalese bullshit.
We've got
that gets them exactly out of that position, and that's the crux of the whole thing. That's exactly why I'll never put my fucking card information into a gaming console, because I don't trust these fucking companies. Once that information goes in there, who says that the company says, well, you agree to terms, so that's mine now. That's mine. That's mine now.
How much
I have the ability to draw from that. It's mine now.
What if
you agreed to terms and services? Fuck that, dude. Fuck that.
Services, man. They need to make that shit simpler for people to deal with.
There are communities and there's activists that are trying to get laws enacted to where it is put into very simple layman's terms, like exactly what you sign up for. Sweetheart, baby. I need you to keep
that's
that off for a couple more minutes, okay?
That's gonna be crazy. They need to get that taken care of immediately because not everybody knows
that's
kids, man.
Who do you trust anymore? Like I was one of the last people on my block to have a cell phone, and like my homies from Arizona can attest. I was one of the last kids on the block to start only using a debit card instead of cash all the time. And I'm telling you, man, like you can't fight it anymore. I fought those fights like 15 fucking years ago, and I lost because like the world moves on. You have to roll with the changes, man. And I know there's still people out there that can use cash and whatever. You know what I mean? Like
right.
But that being said, it's so much more difficult to do that in today's modern age than it was like 15 years ago. And companies like EA, when they retain control over their content through terms and services, they can tell you fuck you when you ask for a refund and wait however fucking long they want, because if you take them to court, they've got money for fucking lawyers. They can drag that shit out for fucking years. They could pay you a fucking $1 million settlement and it would still be a drop in the fucking bucket.
Oh damn.
You know, all they did with this kid was say, fuck you not once for your refund, but fuck you twice, especially for your chargeback. Your catalog is wiped. And now you can just fucking make all the fucking media airwaves you want. Like we couldn't possibly get any worse fucking media coverage than we've already gotten before. So fuck you, kid. Like we don't, like EA does not care. The corporations do not care about you. You know?
I know who does.
And his name is John Cena.
What?
I'm telling you, bro. Fucking thank God we have people in this world like John Cena. Thank God for people like John Cena. If you know, I would have almost no hope for humanity if it wasn't for people like John Cena in the world. You know?
John Cena. Shit. So speaking of AAA games and how they're fucking crazy and how they're just
how much God hates us all. And
how much
God hates us all. Dude. Like,
think about this. When we were kids and we were playing games on like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, and we found glitches.
Right.
It was so cool. It was like, holy shit, they fucked up and we found it, you know? Like that was because they had people to look for that stuff and before a game went out, so that when you were paying for a game, you were paying for a not broken piece of shit. Okay.
Correct. That is correct.
So we used to think that was a cool thing to find.
Those were the days.
Now with it being so regular and so we've been conditioned to think that, oh well, they're working on it. They've got patches coming and yada. That's not acceptable. Battlefield 2042 lets players repair their penguins. Not their penguins, just penguins in general. So what does that mean?
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It means
what the fuck do penguins have to do with Battlefield 2042? Like I'm really confused right now. Like what I don't get it.
Map somewhere on here. I don't play it personally. I don't play any of these FPS shooters anymore because my blood pressure goes through the fucking roof. There's no way,
dude. That's the fun, right?
That's the fun, and that's also the reason why I've broken many controllers and I've almost broken TVs and I've almost like ripped an Xbox out of the fucking wall. Like I'm not joking. I have thrown laptops of League of Legends before, dude, and that's not a very serious.
I've broken no shit. This is so pre-army, like very very recently pre-army, like right before I joined the army. I was living with my first wife. I've broken one controller in my life, and it was because of a first-person shooter. And it was, I think it was like Rainbow Six Vegas. I was playing online. I fucking broke a controller, dude, one night, and I literally grounded myself. Like I was an adult by this point. I was like 28 years old. Okay, I'm like
grounded yourself.
I grounded myself. I was like, dude, I literally like think about what just happened. Okay, this is the first time in my life I have ever acted out in such a manner to damage or destroy a controller. In the first place, you're fucking 28 years old. No, you're fucking done, dude. Like, no. Like, so 2 weeks, no gaming, and I had to go to fucking work because that's $60. I just cost myself $60. I didn't have a replacement. I waited until my next paycheck. I made myself wait until the following paycheck because I didn't have a replacement. I only had one controller for my system at the time. I was the only one that played video games in the house. So I broke the only controller. That was my like video games should be fun. And if you find yourself getting so emotional over it, you need to take a fucking break. I mean, that's really the reality of it. Like, you can't, if a game is pissing you off that much, you probably just need to stop playing the game. I mean, that's a reality. You know what I mean? Unless you can put shit down, take a break, and then come back to it in a better mindset. There's no reason you should be getting that upset over something you should be having fun with. You hear my philosophy?
That's why I quit playing Call of Duty. Any first-person shooter anymore. Like, you ask John, man. I used to play Warzone with John, and like,
and that's good. I commend you.
Then
if it was having a negative impact, yes. If it's having a negative impact on your mind, on your mentality, yes.
You know what it was, and I had figured it out. It took me some time to figure this out, and it was after I quit playing. Most of the time, if I was playing, I'm playing by myself in lobbies that I'm joining by myself without a party. I would do fucking great, and I'd get my confidence boosted really well. And then, like, by that time, people are logging on after work or something like that, or taking care of the kids. So, like, John's on, some of the Scots are on, whoever, right? And then we get into a lobby and start doing, whatever multiplayer shit we got. And I'm sucking, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I was doing so well. What is going on? Well, here, these motherfuckers are so high level above me and so much better with their KDs that they keep putting me in matchmaking lobbies that are for them and not just
I had a big problem. You can go back in the archives on this podcast. You will hear me bitching.
Spawn and die. Just fuck.
You will hear me bitching about that. Like, you are far from the only one on that one. That was part of the reason why I stopped playing the game as well. But
I got tired of paying $60 for a game where I was getting pissed off every fucking 2 seconds because I couldn't do anything with it when I was playing with my friends. So
you stopped playing.
I stopped playing. Now I'm on Forza Horizon 5. I've got some racing games. I got my truck.
I still play Ghost of Tsushima. I replayed fucking Red Dead Redemption. I replayed Red Dead Redemption 2 over the summer. You know what I mean? Like, I just went back into my own world. I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm not. I agree with you to an extent, because if you're not having fun, why would you put yourself and subject yourself to that? It's like torturing yourself mentally and emotionally. You know what I mean? Like,
it's for playing a video game isn't to be upset. It's to relax. It's to enjoy that time.
Exactly.
It's constructive with your time in that way. When you watch kids playing video games, all right. And this is kind of what got me too. Whenever you watch kids playing video games, they're always having so much fun, like with something like Minecraft or something casual, right? Now, I finally got to the point where I was like, I wonder if I would enjoy something more casual instead of all this action, all this, because that's what we grew up with, was all the action-packed shit. And I had some racing games back then, but they were, not simulations. And nowadays it's like there's so much shit you have to think about. All the decision-making process that you have. I'm going all over the place, I know, but the decision.
You're fine. I'm enjoying this. I'm listening.
That you develop, or that like a kid develops by playing these like intense, violent type games. It's kind of crazy. I think even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had said something about the military trying to use video games to recruit kids early on, and it's like, well, yeah, but
why not? I mean,
if it's a tactic,
it gives you. I mean, I would argue always that growing up playing video games gives you a cognitive edge in the real world once you become an adult, because you are already, very, very in tune with making split-second decisions and having to use, multiple pathways of thinking and decision-making skills. So,
right. Neurons are all over the place when you're, new ones, new connections all over the brain when you start doing shit that you've never fucking done before.
Right. And so, kind of going back to like, video gaming should be fun, and, it doesn't necessarily have to always be casual, but like, I remember the early days of DD214 gaming, like last year during coronavirus. That was kind of how all this started. Was everybody was like locked in. We were all just basically like cracking beers at 9-10 o'clock in the morning and not stopping until 1 or 2 o'clock. Because nobody had anything to do, and we would get into these lobbies. And we would just have these big groups of people, and everybody's be cracking up, fucking laughing, like just going 6-on-6, like we'd make our own custom games. We had this whole joke about in I think it's Petrograd maybe, or there's a bar, and we would joke about going to the bar, and like when we'd play other teams, if that level would come up, we'd start calling the other team. We'd be like, meet us in the bar, bitch. And we would make the bar like the hot spot of the map, basically. And we're like, and like,
died like a dog.
Sometimes, dude, sometimes it worked out for us. Sometimes it didn't, but it was always fucking hilarious. It was like, we would just be, it would be hard to play because I'm like trying to play Call of Duty while I'm like laughing so hard I'm crying, basically. You know what I mean? That's what gaming is supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's what gaming is supposed to be, right fucking there. Like whether you're playing Call of Duty or Minecraft or some innocuous, single player journey through fucking space and time, doesn't fucking matter. Like gaming should be fun. If you're getting emotional about it, if it's impacting your mentality, it's impacting your mood. If you're if you're fucking breaking controllers, especially, fucking no, dude. Like take a fucking break. Like,
walk away.
Take a fucking knee, drink water, you know, and fucking
reconsider what the fuck you're doing to yourself, because
start again with a better mental attitude. Like have a more positive mental attitude. You know what I mean? Like that's not what gaming is supposed to be about.
I will tell you as well that since I have stopped playing these like super violent type games, or like Call of Duty, basically, I don't want to call it super violent, but I mean it is. It's blood and shooting and whatnot. But
you don't like violence?
No, I do. I love that. All right. So when Modern Warfare came out and it was like this revamped version of Call of Duty, I was like so into the idea that they had like these spec op dudes come in and they had their input on the game and like how things are supposed to look and work and move. And I was like, this is it, dude. Like this is the last Call of Duty I think I'm probably going to ever play. I hit my, I'm hitting my mid 30s. I'm kind of slowing down in the gaming aspect and like leaning more towards watching it and like enjoying it that way. So, and having my casual games, but like that game, I'm telling you, was it. And then like, I figured it was going to be one of these things where since I'm not as good with it anymore, because, the lobbies were getting harder, joining with my friends and the matchmaking was difficult, that instead of just being mad at the game and being mad that I'm not good within these lobbies with the game, I should just be thrilled that I'm still playing with my friends. Right. And hanging out with my friends. And so that's what the shift was with me for that until it just, we all kind of fell apart for a bit. The COVID didn't bring us together. It kind of tore us apart a little bit because there was very interesting.
It's very interesting because that's exactly how I got kind of into it, basically. Yeah. So that's a very interesting, like kind of like reversal of fortune right there.
It was, but it also created a much stronger bond among brothers that I've realized through the past year or so. And it's also honestly why I'm here today, because if it weren't for that series of events happening, I may not have even considered putting these headphones on, getting a microphone, and like helping you guys out with this.
I'll tell you right now, Joe, like especially like we are happy to have you here. We appreciate you being here and helping us out as a producer. And like today, on a day where our brother John had to take a sabbatical, you're able to step up and put your and not only step up, but you're willing to put yourself on camera too, which is
gay. Where you going?
Well, that's the last time I try to give you a compliment.
Oh shit. With that being said, I appreciate you guys letting me come on the show here. It's fun to participate every now and then on the episodes, putting a little quip in here or there where I can. Yeah.
Dude, you kill it on the captions. You kill it on the fucking captions. You really do. Like that.
Yeah, I'm really into the conversation.
I'm telling you, dude.
But the addition of the soundboard is really helping, I think.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's really all. Me and John have decent enough banter between ourselves, and then especially when we have guests on, that makes it that much easier. And all we needed was the ability to look stuff up on the internet, sound effects, and the rolling captions. The rolling, like, dude, this is like, dude, we're like a middle-aged Wayne's World. Like that's basically what we're doing. This is a middle-aged Wayne's World. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like we do our own thing. We play games. John made me eat that fucking chip. You know what I mean? Like earlier this year. Which by the way, I will be taking the Pocky one chip challenge next year as well. So at some point, whenever they release the Pocky chip for 2022, I will be taking the chip challenge on here. The difference is the last episode I did the chip challenge, I didn't do it till almost the end. And like, I was fine the whole time. This next one, when we do it, I'm going to eat it first thing. I'm going to like show everybody and I'm going to fucking eat it. And then we're going to do the whole episode with me with the fucking hot chip in my mouth, basically. All right. So that's what we're going to do.
Here, you heard it here first, folks. 2022, as soon as that chip comes out, Jay will be all up in that.
I'm all up in that ass, dude. I'm all up in that ass. Like, dude, you call me J Tampon, dude, because I'm all up in that ass. All right.
Excellent.
Yeah. Just because you said that earlier, Wayne's World, basically.
I appreciate it. I mean, is that a wrong comparison to make? You tell me. Because I'm thinking like the way we kind of structure things and the way we kind of rant. We've played games on here. We've had lists. You know what I mean? Like, are we not? Is that not what we're doing? Is that not what we're doing? Like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now, Joe?
You don't want to know what I'm doing right now.
I don't want. Are you sure? Are you sure? He's taking medicine. Dude? Do you remember Do you remember David Letterman back in the day? And he would be like puffing cigars like on the Late Show, and he'd be like down here, and he'd be like. And he'd come up and kind of puff out a little bit of smoke, and like the fucking crowd would like go crazy because he's like not supposed to be smoking indoors. You know what I mean? Like on live television, not supposed to be smoking on television. You know what I mean? Like terrible. It's like, yeah, like.
Hey, I bet you remember when they took like alcohol ads off the air and like cigarette ads off the air.
Oh yeah, I do. I remember they took cigarette. Oh. I remember reading cigarette. Dude, there used to be some badass cigarette ads, dude, in like magazines back in the day.
Oh yeah,
dude, sexy ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Sexy ass motherfuckers. Sexy ass motherfuckers. And they all smoke, homie. They all smoke cigarettes, right? They all smoke. And that's why even now that I've not bought dude. Oh, by the way, this month, I've gone a year without buying a pack of cigarettes. I haven't gone a year without smoking. I want to clarify that. I have not gone a year without smoking. I've gone a year without buying a pack of cigarettes, but I'm still addicted because dude, those people were also sexy. They were all so sexy, dude. They were all so sexy. Oh, it was like that. It was like that.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. But we're glad that you stopped, man, because honestly, like, yeah.
I needed to. I'd already been smoking for like 20 years, dude. Like, I didn't start dipping till I joined the army. So like, I figured my mouth is less fucked up than my lungs right now. So
there she is.
That's kind of the direction we go now.
Dude, check this out. Hang on, let me get
what you got. What you got? Show me a sexy ass cigarette ad, dude. Show me the fucking Marlboro man, like, you know, like with a chick who just like can't control herself around him or something.
Oh, I got the wrong one up. Hold on.
What the fuck is that?
Hang on.
I said sexy.
It's a little.
Hey, if I ever buy a fucking World War II fucking plane, I'll go to that. I'll ask you for that so I can fucking paint something on the side of the plane. Okay.
I wanted a pinup girl like somewhere like as a tattoo, but I never got one.
Bro, you gotta, dude. Look up 1980s. Look up 1980s Marlboro ads.
Look at
seriously.
This. What?
No, that's no. I'm not saying they're not. No, listen to me.
This is your daddy, dude, right here.
Okay, that's that. Like, yeah, keep going down. Keep going down. There's that guy. Like, there's dude. Look up some of the camel ads. Look, the camel ads are. You got to look up like camel ads, and they had like a dude with a chick, like, and they were like everything was like sexy as fuck. Like, look up like I'm telling you, man. Like it's
camels.
Like they seriously made tobacco look like this is your life as long as you smoke. You know what I mean? That's exactly why they got banned, dude.
Here, because look at this dude. It's a little rough as shit.
Look at these. Yeah, and he's like, fuck yeah, bro.
I smoke Camel unfiltered.
And I'll beat your ass at the fucking bar if you got something to say about it.
I'll butt fuck you.
Look. Are these guys fucking arm wrestling? Was that a guy? Somebody arm wrestling right there? Yeah.
Look how much of a man I am with my camel.
Look at these.
What is going the fuck on?
Where are the chicks at, dude?
Look at this. This is right here. Lucky
Strike. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, shit like that. Exactly. Marketing this shit to kids in magazines, dude. Like, look at how badass fucking Joe Campbell. Dude, I would love to be an anthropomorphic, whatever, camel
Jay.
If I can look like that, okay? Anthropomorphic, is that the word? Anthropomorphic. It's like when you have like a fucking human body and a fucking animal head. It's anthropomorphic, I believe. Sweetheart, can you grab me that other beer, please?
That's just, I cannot, dude.
Oh my fucking god! I did not say that.
You
That is so not
literally
what
just said
I
you want
said
an
if
anthropomorphic animal
that doesn't-
camel that looks like a.
If I
sexy
could look
female
like that, if I could look like
Bruh.
that,
Bruh,
yeah, that doesn't make me a fur. We're.
the captions don't lie, Jay.
Oh my fucking god! Dude. Oh, that's so fucking okay. No, okay, just no. Okay, the answer is just fucking no on that. Okay. All right.
Wait, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Give me a second, baby. Seriously, honey.
Not yet.
You need to stop. Seriously. Okay, no. The answer is just fucking no. I do know a furry. Okay, no, I'm not even. Okay, I'm stop. Okay. You don't know me, bro. You don't know me, bro. You just don't know
And
me.
thank you to sheep everywhere. Oh, for letting me fuck them. Am I right?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Except I'm not joking.
Oh man, well here we go, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
just
This is my
kidding.
first and last time on the air. So
I'm just fucking with you, man. What do we got? Hey, what do we got? What do we got next? Where are we at right now?
So I found out that 2/3 of Americans play video games.
Really?
That's
Really?
crazy, you know? Yeah, 227.
Dude, I'm actually
Americans
really
play
pleased to hear that. That's good. That's a good sign.
This is according to Mike Snyder at USA Today back in July 13th of this year. So
Beautiful.
It's kind of
That's great.
crazy.
Fuck yeah.
And to think about that, 90% of them said that they'll continue gaming after the pandemic's over, like when things go back to normal. So that's like the industry's boomed. And with that boom, that also is putting stress on like EA and all these game companies, developers to make better games or to develop faster to, appease the crowds. But case in point, GTA 6. That's never going to happen.
No, it's dude. Same with Half-Life fucking 3 and everything. Did know. Well, here's the good news. That means 220 million Americans game. That means gaming is fucking relevant. Finally, gaming is relevant. Gaming is in the majority. As far as these like cocksucking, suckers of Satan's cock, corporate.
So poorly timed.
corporate just freaking like fucks out there. Like they're the ones ruining it. They're the ones ruining the status quo with what gaming should be. And I'm hoping that we can play a small part in telling these multinational bottom dollar, only giving a fuck about the shareholders assholes that like, I want gaming to go back to what it was. Just give us the product and we will provide all your money for you.
Literally.
If you make it worth it. Like poor John's freaking
understand.
John's freaking out in the comments. John's totally freaking out in the comments because we're so like, I love how off the train we are though. It's kind of fun. So
we're John, listen, you let me do this. All right. Jay's the host. I'm a guest. We can just talk about whatever, dude. We've got plenty of time. We've got 25 minutes left. I'll tell you what, the next story is this one right here that it's kind of controversial in my book because it does kind of
here we go.
Slightly in a negative light, but like it's
so a veteran
all of them,
A veteran stole $1.9 million in supplies for sleep apnea devices from the Veterans Affairs Feds. The feds say this dude got busted by the feds. Damn.
Like,
so what is he? Is he a contractor? Was he a contractor? Like, what's his story? How did he steal? How did he steal $1.9 million worth of supplies? That's a lot.
So apparently he was bouncing between jobs and then stumbled into a career as purchasing agent in the prosthetics division of the VA, right?
Okay.
So he was trying to help veterans. He was trying to do good for veterans. And then 9 years later, the government came knocking, found out that he was stealing this shit.
Huh. Wow.
So I guess he said the role felt more like paper pushing, so he took matters into his own hands. I think he was just going around and
distributing them.
CPAPs are used to treat obstructive
Sleep
sleep
apnea.
apnea, yada yada. But he pleaded guilty to stealing the products in August and sentenced to 2 years and 3 months in prison, which isn't that bad.
Wait a minute. So was he? Wait. So when he what was he not? Was he selling them? Was he selling them or just handing them
I think
out?
that's what he was doing. Was he was trying to sell them? I can't exactly see. Accused of stealing nearly $2 million of the shit, and
Yeah, we know he stole
selling
the
them to
shit.
a supplier in Ohio. There it is.
Wait, what did he? Wait, what was it? I apologize. Say
He
that
stole
again.
it from the DA, and he sold them to a supplier in Ohio.
Okay. Okay. So he was. So he was profiting. All right. Well,
And he has to pay the $2 million back.
see. I almost would have been on his side
If it was a Robin Hood situation,
if he had just fucking Robin Hooded that shit out, dude. Like,
because they're
Hey,
already
man.
paid for. Why not just hand them out to who needs them and stop going through the fucking bureaucratic red tape? You got sleep
Hey,
apnea,
man.
you have a fucking machine, you know?
hey man, sometimes you got to play Robin Hood, man. Otherwise you end up like Sublime's second album, and then you're just Robin the Hood. You know what I mean?
Out back.
But yeah, if he's gonna make a profit off that, dude, like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, homie. Sorry, not sorry, dude. Like enjoy prison, dude.
Sorry,
I mean,
not sorry. Exactly.
Sorry, not sorry, dude. Like
It's not that bad of a sentence. Let's be honest. 2 years, 3 months.
he's got to pay that money back though. How the fuck you gonna make? I hope you put something in savings, dude. Because how you gonna pay $2 million back, dude? Like
Oh, you're
I have not made $2 million up to this point in my life for all the
No.
work I've done. Not
In
even
fact,
close.
I don't think it's really
Thank you.
I think we would now. Overall, an entire lifetime, the average person
Not
might
me,
make
homie. Not me,
No?
homie. Nope.
Shit.
Nope.
Well, I mean,
I grew up
if
making
all you
five.
do
I
is
grew
wear
up making
sweet-ass
five. I
sweaters
grew up
all day.
making fucking five. Dude, I was making $5.15 an hour, dude. Like the most I ever made on a tax-paying job before I joined the army was $12 an hour in Tucson, Arizona. That was in fucking 2008, dude.
My dude.
$12 an hour is the most I've ever made in a tax-paying job up to this point in my life outside of the army.
What
I have not even
untaxed
approached
paying
$2 million.
jobs have you had that paid well?
Huh?
Have you had untaxed paying jobs like 1099 positions where you got paid pretty decent? No.
No, dude. No. Well, we call those side jobs, homie, and you work for cash.
Well, we're going to a cashless society here soon, so it's not going to
Yeah,
matter.
well, that shit don't. That's what I'm saying. That shit don't exist anymore, man. I used to. I can tell you the most I've ever made per hour is definitely not that on a side job. It's definitely not $12 an hour.
Oh shit.
I made $150 an hour on a side job because it took 4 hours less than I thought it was going to take. So I bid the job at a certain amount, at a certain dollar amount, and I didn't realize that I was pulling a stump basically. I bid $300 on it because it was a bigger stump.
Mhm.
But I was very good at tree, stump removal basically. Like in Arizona, it's not everybody in Arizona knows how to fucking do stump removal basically. And well, that's kind of a misnomer. I'm sure plenty of people do. Okay, that I don't want to make it sound like, but people would bid these exorbitant amounts of money to remove a stump from somebody's yard. I can come in, ready to fucking take cash and offer at a greatly reduced amount. Does that make sense? And so
Makes all the sense.
what happened was I thought this tree stump was going to take 6 hours. Literally, I thought it was going to take, because it was very big around. And what you have to do is you have to dig down in Arizona dirt, which is basically hard as rock. It's called caliche. You got to dig around the stump, and then you got to start hacking out all the fucking roots, and then you can start fucking like wiggling out the fucking stump.
Wiggle it, baby.
I had a buddy with a truck,
Mhm.
and I dug down, I hacked the roots out, and I was going to use my buddy's truck to kind of wiggle it like a loose tooth, basically, just to get it kind of loose. Right. What happened is I dug down, I hacked the roots, and as soon as he started wiggling it, it popped out. Like the tree had not only died, but it had rotted. So the $300 job for 6 hours just became a $300 job for 2 hours. So I threw the fucking we threw the stump in the fucking back of his truck. I fucking filled in the hole. I collected fucking $300 cash, and I just made $150 an hour, right? But you know what, sweetheart? I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is who you're stuck with. I mean, I've also cut down a saguaro cactus, which is highly uncouth to do in Tucson, Arizona, on a landscaping job, by the way.
Oh my God.
People were fucking driving by and watching us. Like it was legal because the property owner, like the cactus was on the property, but like when like people cutting down saguaro cactuses like makes the news in Tucson because they only grow in that part of the world, right?
Yeah.
And so we got charged with a job, me and a buddy of mine on a landscaping job to take out the cactus had fallen like half on their wall. Yeah. So we had to like cut down the cactus and get it off the wall basically and then remove it. So the cactus was like not going to survive anyways. So like for anybody watching that might know, the area of Tucson, Arizona, it's a big fucking deal. You're not supposed to chop down cactuses. It's a big, big no-no in that. They're called saguaros. How do you spell and they only Saguaro, and they only grow in the Sonoran Desert. And so cutting one down is a big fucking no-no.
Oh, this is a gnarly looking one, man. Wait till you see this thing.
That's the one. I was gonna say like that's when you see Arizona, like that's the cactus you're gonna see. Like that's the one they use. That's the one they use. Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Oh yeah.
One of these things. That's like a normal cactus to me.
They only grow around in the Sonoran Desert.
The damn bird in there. Don't they have spiders that live in there?
Wren. That's a cactus wren. That bird that's the state bird of Arizona. That's called a cactus wren. They build their houses inside of saguaros.
So don't they have spiders that live in there? Because my dad had a buddy. My dad was a truck driver for most of his life, and he had traveled out that way. And I guess this dude figured, hey, I'm gonna grab some cactus because like you can eat that. I guess certain types of them you can eat.
Certain types, but
and he grabbed this, and then they went out to get something else to eat or do something, and they came back, and this dude's like entire cab inside of his truck was covered in all these spiders because there must have been like an egg or something that broke open, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't think it wouldn't have been a saguaro. Those saguaro cactuses are extremely heavy because they're filled with water.
Yeah.
We have a cactus that let me see if I can find a picture for you. We have a cactus. When I moved into one of the houses that my parents lived in when I was a kid, we moved in. I remember being able to put a Santa Claus hat on top of that saguaro cactus when I was a kid. Yeah. Okay. I've since gone back to Tucson, in recent years, I guess. And that cactus is as tall as the house. So they take a long time to start growing, but then once they get to a certain size, they start growing exponentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they are basically filled with fucking water, filled with water and water weight. So like the cactus that we had to cut down on that landscaping job basically was not to be a dick and disparage saguaro cactuses. It was because the fucking cactus fell down on dude's wall and it was like breaking his fucking wall, and we had to get it fucking out of there. You know what I mean? So that's why people freaked out, because saguaro cactuses are basically endangered because they only grow in that fucking part of the world, but they are extremely heavy, extremely full of water. You know what I mean? And once they start growing, they grow exponentially. So it's really like you got to be careful with them. Once they get past a certain size, like the one that's in front of the house that I grew up in, that I'm looking for the picture of, they're going to need to remove it. They're actually going to have like a saguaro cactus removal service come and remove this cactus because it becomes dangerous.
It's the worst microphone of all time.
Well, it just becomes dangerous. It just becomes dangerous after a while because you can't. There's nothing you can do. And if they fall over, they will fuck shit up. It's like a fucking tree. It's basically like they carry as much damage as a tree would if it fell.
The weight of those things, yeah, most certainly. And I've seen pictures of, if like a high windstorm or something comes out and like knocks one of them bitches over next to a house or onto a house, it'll take the roof out, it'll take windows out. God forbid you're laying there. You're not only laying in a pile of rubble, but you're also getting stabbed by that pile of rubble, and it hurts like a motherfucker.
Right.
You would not want to deal with that. Stabby walls.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, and now, yeah, it's like, and from the time that I was a kid, like 6th grade, when I could stand up on a little rock that was right next to it and put a Santa hat like the one I'm wearing on top of it, just by myself in 6th grade. And now the fucking thing is as tall as and it's a 2-story house, so it's like a fucking, the cactus is probably 23 or 24 feet high at this point, and that's like, and that's still considered kind of a baby. They can become as tall as like 75 fucking feet.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Like they get fucking huge.
That's insanity. I'm getting all the notifications on my computer. I'm so sorry. So I have some final thoughts, man. We have one last subject here I want to touch on before we hit our final thoughts today.
Okay.
John had thrown this our way earlier this week, and I feel like it's something that should be mentioned. Congress is trying to pass a bill. Specifically, the sponsor is Senator Tammy Duckworth from a Democrat from Illinois, and it's the Protecting Moms Who Served Act. Let me get this pulled up here.
Okay. What's the? I hope there's
There's this. So it requires the Department of VA to implement the maternity care coordination program. VA has to provide community maternity care providers that are non-VA with training and support with respect to the unique needs of pregnant and postpartum veterans, particularly regarding mental and behavioral health conditions in relation to the service of the veterans in the armed forces. So essentially it's to help, with postpartum depression, help with, your pregnancy and whatnot at a non-VA. I'm imagining this is if you're not within a certain mileage of one.
Right.
Because here I live a stone's throw away from my VA, and it's one of I think when I last looked, it was the 3rd best VA in the country.
Right. I think I'm pretty close to a massive one in Kansas City. I'm pretty sure I'm close to like a massive one in Kansas City.
It's possible.
So yeah, and that's like, but like you're saying, like not everybody has that. Not everybody is that close to a VA facility or a VA facility that might be highly rated, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like.
But on this subject, it sounds like this is a great leap for veterans who are they don't have the right care at the right hospital or something. If they they don't have the right doctor to deal with, maybe these VA doctors are too far and they don't want to do the remote call thing or something, or that's not available to them. So go to a doctor that you care and trust, maybe your own personal doctor through your own insurance or whatever. Unless you're like me and don't get insurance and just use the VA for everything because you're a cheap bastard. Fine, I'm the same way.
You ain't gonna see me judging fucking anybody. I don't give a fuck.
I earned that shit. That's how
I'm saying. Like, it's all good, dude. Like, you ain't gonna hear me saying a fucking word about that.
Right.
Like, that's your right. Like,
but this opens the doors for a lot of women that need this type of help, and it's great to hear that. This is being pushed through, and inversely, or I should say, conversely, in the healthcare field, still there's also S894, which is the Higher Veteran Health Heroes Act of 2021, which requires the VA to consult with the DoD to identify members of the military and community in the armed forces, healthcare occupations to come back into more VA facilities. So they'll be considered over civilians. I mean, why not? You're training these people to be doctors, nurses, physicians assistants and shit. Why not put them to use?
I hope healthcare in our country gets a lot fucking better. B, I hope women's healthcare, women's reproductive rights, like all that shit starts taking some massive leaps forward, because as of late, it seems like there's a lot of big steps backwards, excuse me. And I hate even saying it, because I've always told myself, even when I was a kid, I remember being a kid and being like, I'm glad I'm a boy. I'm glad I'm a man.
Right.
And I cannot imagine living in the world we live in, just in general. I'm not talking about this, that, or I'm not prancing around some kind of like political whatever, by saying this. I'm literally saying, like, I cannot imagine what it is like growing up as a woman in today's modern society, in today's modern world, in general. Like I feel bad saying that. I feel bad saying that I'm glad I'm a man, because it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. And I know there's a lot of, there are so many struggles that we don't see because I don't walk those miles in those shoes. You know, it's so easy for me as a man to just do the man thing and compartmentalize and put everything into a little box inside my head and then shove it into a corner when it's necessary to do so, and put it out of my mind until I have to come back to it. Right. That's not really what it's like to be a woman. That's nowhere near the life that even an average woman's life in the United States of America, on average, it's not like that. And it's much harder, and there's a lot more that goes into it. Okay. I don't want to say harder as far as like it's harder being one gender or the other. That's not that's not what I'm saying. I say harder, fuck man, emotionally, physically, we're going to end up getting into like some like pagan Neolithic shit where we talk about like evolution and like how our fucking species has, evolved basically in the last like 2,000 years. And we're at a point in history where like, it's hard to explain what it's like to be a man and a woman in modern society, but it's a lot fucking easier to be a fucking man. Put it that way. It's a lot fucking easier to be a man. That's all I'm saying.
I feel as though you're touching on so many different things that I would love to talk about as well, where there's like ancient civilizations that we don't know anything about because they were just completely wiped off this earth for one reason or another. Did Yellowstone blow up 600,000 years ago and then like, wipe everything
in the next 100 years?
Yeah, right. Man, we're right at that mark again for it, or was there some kind of issue with Atlantis? Like, was it? I'm sure. I am almost positive human beings as a species and even within cultures, I'm sure we have had the wheel go around so many times, and I fucking agree, Nikki. You are so fucking right. We have not had a single. You are so fucking right. We have not had a single female guest up to this point. I appreciate Next
you.
Week on DD214 podcast,
holy shit,
Nikki Larson as our guest host.
yeah. But as a society, we have retread this wheel so many times. If you put like a little red paint mark, we the red paint mark has come back around full circle so many fucking times in human history up to this point. But where we're at next, but where we are at right now, we are still retreading old ground, yes, but we're on the cusp of like this change in humanity, basically, with technology and with things that are happening around our world right now. Like, so see what Nikki said to you? She said,
hell no. You think Eddie's a tool of darkness?
I make people rock in a corner for a few hours. She ain't lying, man. She ain't lying. There's an extremely finite amount of people in this world that can even put up with me in a general basis, let alone on a personal basis. And the fact that woman can put up with me as her man, like you want to talk about a strong heart and a strong mind and an iron will, to do the right thing and keep moving forward. Like that's my girlfriend right there. That's my woman, and I'm proud of her. So that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Cheers to you, baby. I love you.
Anyway, so moving on.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks.
Like we're coming down to the last few minutes of the show. Jay, do you have any last minute things you want to discuss before we move into a final thought?
No, not really off the top of my head. I think we did pretty good, man. I think we did pretty good. We filled our time slot on time and as we should and as we have been. And John, you were greatly missed today, and we love you very, very much. And
he was with us in spirit and in chat.
Absolutely. And John is on sabbatical. There was a family emergency. And I do want to extend all of my condolences, not only to John's family, but the Maldonado family and all family and friends that knew Elizabeth Maldonado. We want to extend our deepest sympathies and condolences. In this life, we on a long enough timeline, we end up dealing with death, and it's never comfortable, and it's never fun. It's never fun. But the part that's really cool about that part of life is that that's when people tend to come together and do what we should be doing, not only as human beings, but like as a tribe, as a tribe, where we take care of our own and we take care of each other in times of need. And being that this is the first episode of December, we got a little festive, today, and I guess that can kind of segue right into our final thoughts, I guess, if that's okay. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So being that it is now officially December, and this is our first episode this holiday season, I just want to say that no matter what happens, there are people out there that love you. There are people out there that care very, very much for you. There are entire worlds that would be shattered if something happened to you. So if you're having bad thoughts, if you are in a bad place, if you're broke as shit and you don't know where the fucking next gas bill is coming from, pick up the motherfucking phone. Okay, call somebody. Stop being proud and stop letting that stress overwhelm your brain. Life is hard enough. You don't need to make it hard on yourself too. Okay?
I can't tell you how much I don't want to hear taps at anyone's funerals. Like, I don't want to hear taps, period.
I don't.
You guys.
If you have imbibed, firearms are not your friend. Stay away from them. Okay? And if you have imbibed and you're having bad thoughts, sleep it off. Just go to sleep and wake up the next morning before you do anything at all. Pick up the motherfucking phone. Call somebody before you do anything. If you're on the other end, if it's 3:30 in the fucking morning and you just got done drinking with the boys and you've only been in bed for 90 minutes, but you hear that fucking phone going off, answer that bitch. Answer that bitch. That's somebody reaching out. I don't give a fuck if you're getting drunk dialed. I don't give a fuck if you're getting interrupted. If that person hasn't called you in 6 months and they're calling at 3:30 in the fucking morning, they ain't calling for no fucking reason.
That's right.
Listen up. Listen up and answer your goddamn phones, people. All right. And then, as always, I saw it was just up. We have the phone number for the National Suicide Hotline. That's 1-800-273-TALK. 1-800-273-8255. People love you. Worlds will be shattered. Okay?
Thank you.
Don't do it. We love you. Call me. I have said many, many times on this podcast, send the DD214 admin page on Facebook a private message. I will send you my personal fucking phone number. You can call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I don't sleep, bitch. All right? I'm a fucking machine. And I'm going to be a machine until the day I fucking die. I will answer your phone call. I will talk to you at whatever time of day if that's what you need. So do it. Jesus hates a pussy, so don't fucking be one.
Pussy.
Yeah, don't be a pussy. And not inversely. I don't know why I keep saying that word. I love that word so much. But with all of that being said, on behalf of DD214 Gaming, we love all of you. Don't forget to check out our link tree. We've got every available way to listen to us. Please check us out on every platform, any platform. If you like what you're hearing here live, share with your friends. Let them see what's going on here. We're here every week, 11 o'clock on a Sunday. It's church, folks. This is it.
This is our church.
Don't forget.
This is our church. Come get holy. Right. Come get holy with us. Here's what I drink for communion.
I'll be mixing up some of that Rogue Energy here soon. And don't forget to check out Rogue Energy if you want to smell colors, if you want to hear the birds off about 50 miles away, then this is the shit you need for you. If you want to bring your gaming to a new level where you are clear and completely jacked, this is it.
For 36 hours, bro. 36 hours.
fucking nuts. Discount code DD214 Gaming for 10% off your order. Don't forget to check out Blaze 8 online for all of your Delta 8 needs, our CBD needs, whatever you need, bro. They got it. Blunts, joints, salves, tinctures, edibles, fucking what you got, what you want. Flour, they got the fucking 8s and the quarters, and they probably get a whole damn pound of it for half the price of what Delta 9 costs. So check them out. That's blaze8onlinenj.com. And as always, swallow the homies.
Always swallow the homies. Good night.